Okay, Danner, the next step, hold on, let me read it on the instructions here and what it says. It says that we did the torsion bars. The next step says loosen all lower control arm hardware and do not remove the nuts. It's only necessary to have them broken free to allow for full movement. And so I asked my brother off camera here, since it's really the driver's side that we're really messing around with, I said, do we need to loosen the passenger side? And go ahead, why are we doing
the reason I said we probably should is because, you know, when you do a front end part, like you do a ball joint that has a whole control arm and you tighten it up with the car hanging and then everything's tight and then you set the car down and the suspension settles and then that thing might move like 3 inches.
Tweaks the bushing.
Then you're twisting the bushing, you get a premature bushing failure. So you really want to tighten control arm bolts at ride height. Since we're changing the ride height,
makes sense.
We're just going to loosen the control arms.
Okay.
The upper ones are going to be new.
Right, we're taking those off, right?
You know, so when our final tighten here is going to be after our test drive and we're happy with the way it's settled, we have the ride height we want, then we can torque these bolts and then...
So test drive it before we tighten the bolts?
I would.
Really?
Yeah, just because if we change, I mean really, if we have your ride height within a ½ inch, you're not going to change much, you know, but when we're talking 2 inches,
yeah,
maybe we'll snug them up, you know what I mean? But
okay. All right, so we loosen the lower control arm bolts. Of course, we're not loosening the ball joint on the lower control arm. We just loosen the control arm bolts themselves. Next step says disconnect the front shocks and remove from vehicle. Retain the lower mounting bolt. Remove the lower shock bracket, and use extra caution not to break the bolts.
Offset by chance? Can you? Or you got this in film?
Let me see.
You got new shock mounts. Are they offset somehow?
Let's go look.
So anyway, yeah, these do look offset. They look like they might be a little bit higher, but you can see that bolt.
Yeah.
The taper here to here. My guess is, you know, maybe they went this way, so your shock doesn't run into here. When you lower this down, it has a chance of that shock running into the bumper block or something. So we'll have to look and see the orientation. But
mainly that bracket is to give you a little bit more shock length. You know, so you're not.
I don't know if it's more length or if it's more getting the offset away from how close it is already to this bumper block and that part of the frame to kick that shock out of here.
Gotcha. Okay, but it says to not.
Don't break these.
Don't break the bolts. Yep. So right now we're just taking the shocks off up front and we're debating on how to do it. We're not worried about the top, even if we got to break the top of the shock. We live in the Rust Belt here at PA and nothing comes apart.
Yeah, sometimes a long extension in the sock and just snap the top of it.
Right.
I'm going to lower it down and take a look under the hood and see if I can not have to take its inner fender well on.
So we're doing this, just to give you a perspective here, we are under the hood for this one. Sounds like it's spinning.
The whole shock spinning. Hillbilly routine.
And the hillbilly routine is to snap it off.
Snap it off. You got new shocks.
Can't see what you're doing. Hand me that light.
Sometimes if you have the room to do it. In fact, I could probably get the nut to come off now because I bent it below the nut. I should try that. See if it works.
Did it work?
I went past my bend. No way. Now I'm back where I started. So anyway, I think I screwed myself doing that, but a lot of times you can just push it back and forth and snap
it off.
But since I tried that, now I'm just going to get a pair of pliers and hold that back. Take the nut off the rest of the way.
Cool. Come on.
I just gotta put my vice grips on that one now. I'm just trying to get below this washer onto the meat of the stud here.
Yep.
So get in there so I can get a good bite on it, and then I can hold these while I take this nut off. You can stay there. here out
Yep.
free.
Cool.
Right?
So yeah, off camera, we're just talking about, should we film taking the shock off? I mean, if anyone needs help taking a shock off,
There,
there you go, it's off. So they probably shouldn't take this project on if you can't take the shock off. But anyway, we're filming the one side, so. Oh, that was hard.
Where did I bend it at? Look, see, that's where I was trying to snap it, and then I said, I wonder if I... And then I went up to here, and then it didn't work.
No big. All right, and then that bracket, the bracket that's on the control arm that's sitting right there.
The one they say don't break.
That's the one we're changing, and it looked like, let me see the bracket. That one. It looks like it can go one of two ways.
Yeah, so we'll have to see.
We want this.
I don't know, my guess would be the offset would be closer this way because you don't want to run into the frame and the...
Yes.
I don't know if that light's in your way.
It is, but that's better.
But if we put it this way and put the shock offset
yeah,
towards the inside, we're gonna rub on this. So my guess
call that
is
a jounce bumper.
Yeah, whatever.
Is that what they call it? I think
so. So whatever. It's a rubber baby buggy bumper.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the shocks out. The next step in the process, it says working on one side of the vehicle at a time. We're going to support the lower control arm, disconnect the CV from the front differential, and remove the upper control arm from the vehicle, and then that'll allow the CV to pull away from the axle, so we can drop the differential. That's what I meant.
And then you want to take
so
the hoses off.
Yeah.
You know, this hose, the brake hose here, because you don't want the knuckle pulling on that and being supported by a rubber hose, and then you don't want to break your ABS line, which is snapped in here and then snapped into the edge of here. So I got this stuff out of the way, so when we take the control arm off and then we take the axle flange bolts off, this will just pivot out of the way.
Okay, and it mentions supporting the control arm, and I commented off camera, isn't the sway bar going to hold the control arm in place? I mean, there's no tension on it anyway.
I mean, it could flop a little bit, but it's going to stop eventually, you know, because it's mounted still. This side, though, when we start taking this bolt out, though, to put the lower control arm bolt in with the new bracket, we're going to have to do something, because then we're going to take another pivot point out of the way. So we'll see if we need to support it when we start unbolting stuff.
So axle, we're going to unbolt the axles next.
I'm actually, while I'm here, I'm going to take the, separate the ball joint, just get the control arm out of my way right now.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll see what that leaves us.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry about all the grease. I've greased that upper ball joint a bunch because it had play in it, and if I kept grease in it, it was actually better.
You guys are making me tired, isn't it?
Well, you could watch it on YouTube. When we're done, you feel like you're at work.
Danner's making me tired watching. I really should be doing the other side, not holding this camera.
You could.
We're gonna be here forever.
We're gonna go home and finish it tomorrow.
Okay. Did you ever do a ball joint? I'm sure you have, where you thought you had the nut loosened enough, and then you separated it with a fork, you know, to change it, and then the whole ball joint rotates.
I take them off and then put them back on a couple threads. 15 is.
Is it got a nut on the other side of it, or is it?
No, it's threaded into that.
Is it threaded or is there a nut? No, it's threaded in there.
Okay, cool. I can take a turn if you want to hold the camera.
Nah, I'm
going to get accused by everyone of not knowing how to wrench at all. I mean, that already is a common misconception. If it doesn't have a wire on it, I can't fix it, is what people say.
That's funny. What do you got here?
Laugh about it. Accept it.
You found your niche, man. You know what I mean? If you don't have to get dirty. Although, can I pick on you?
Sure.
Can I pick on you?
Yeah.
See, I gotta show you this. Because this is from you and Latour.
What?
You're gonna know what I'm talking about. You ready?
Yeah, what are we looking at?
I'm not telling you until we do it.
Are we doing this on camera?
We are doing this on camera. This better make the clip. Ready?
Okay, we'll see. Depends how
see
bad
this?
you make me look.
See Latour up top, right? Paul does a lot of work for Pete.
Yeah.
All right, and then Mike Assman, 95 Assman.
Oh, I know this vehicle.
And it says ghost braking, moaning, hard to stop, no communication, diagnostic, ABS, right front hub bearing replaced, no change. Paul Danner tried to diagnose, can't.
Wait, hold on. I gotta zoom in on that. Oh yeah, we'll leave that. Actually, what we should change.
Film. I was gonna film this car if he's supposed to come in.
Listen,
I was gonna film
what
it.
we should say for can't, it should say won't.
I know, but I had to call you on it because I know the car. He came in, and I couldn't communicate with it either, right? And I'm like, well, I'm just gonna have to live graph everything and see which one's really going off, and you're gonna have to leave it with me. You can't wait. I just need time with it. And I know that's what the real story is. You saw the truck. It's a camouflage painted Astro van that's got 300,000 miles on it. You probably don't have a rack at Pete's to put it up in the air.
I believe that's the one that we did repaired the fuel pump wiring on for him and got it running.
Okay.
And so then he wanted his ABS fixed after that, and I just didn't want to do it.
I know.
Plugged it.
But I keep looking at this every day, and I'm like, I know he could figure it out. He don't want to.
That was one of those ones in the data link connector where you use the multi-1 adapter from Snap-on, and then you count the flashes of the light, it was a no comment. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, that goes with your whole, like, if you can't plug something into it, you can't fix it. It's not that you can't, it's just maybe you just don't want to.
It should say won't.
But I'm going to put this in your video, and then if I ever see the truck and I fix it, I'm going to put this in my video.
Okay, deal. That was a good one, Danner. I actually told him that I'd look at that when I got back to school, but I wasn't doing that on my own time. But he didn't want to.
See, the problem with him is he's delivering pizzas and he can't be without it.
Right.
And he came in here one day and I'm like, dude, I'm not going to charge you hours and hours, but I need it for the day.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to rack it. I'm probably going to walk away from it.
Right.
I'm going to just live graph the sensor, see if I can see which one's dropping out or, whatever. It sounds like one of the ABS rings is rusted out of its hole, but he just can't get it here, so whatever. But I thought that was funny.
It was funny. Paul Danner.
Can't.
I like that. I like the can't. We'll go with it.
Bolt still in there. Notice I'm using impact guns.
That's
it's
okay.
Getting late,
I don't care.
and I just want.
This
stuff
isn't
loose.
something that I'll be worth snapping a bolt on anyway. I like your setup too with the swivel. I mean, this is the difference between like
Being in your backyard.
yeah, using a wrench in your driveway. You got one more?
Oh no, I lost count.
Yep, should be. It looks like you got them all.
Except for I only see 5. Where'd number 6 go? 5. Did I drop one? Oh yeah. You gotta put Uncle Steve on camera. No. Come on.
We can't wait. There he is in the bumper. We got my uncle here from Cincinnati. He's a Bengals fan, though. Should we allow him to be here? Although the Bengals did hand us a nice win this season.
Yeah, that sucked.
Handed it to us.
What?
That was
They
painful.
also
that was
You guys
painful.
think
They also
you guys
took
think
on
I'm a
2 good
Bengals fan.
players.
My family thinks I'm a Steelers fan. Only I know.
He is from Pittsburgh.
No, he's a Miami Dolphins fan, right?
Oh yeah, in retirement maybe, huh?
I'd probably go for New Orleans once I move down to Florida.
Wait, let me see what you just did.
I just grabbed the.
Okay, so the axle's loose, and if that all falls towards us, we're not going to pull the CV joint apart, which is why we stopped with the ball joint, right? So we're going back to the upper control arm now.
Smack this and see if I can get the control arm to pop up and see how far this actually how much pressure's there, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
If I can't push down on this, that means when I pop it, that means that there's a lot of weight and I might have to support.
Do we got that nut all the way off?
No, I have it on a couple threads.
Because that's the one I was talking about, you know? As soon as we separate that, if we don't have that nut loose, we're gonna be not happy. You using a fork or you just hitting it? Nice.
Okay, so I can lift that so it's
not going anywhere.
under a lot of pressure. But it's enough pressure to where I can't get the...
So that's the part, guys, for you guys watching, that part that we just did, if you don't get the nut loose enough before you do that step, what can happen is, because it's a lock nut, what will happen is you'll end up spinning the whole ball joint and you'll never get that nut off. So what we would do on some of these is we take the nut all the way off first, then put it on.
Which is what I did, and it's still fighting.
Okay. And then we put it on a couple threads and then do the rest of it. So I see the ball joint. There you go. There's some movement in that,
Yeah,
huh?
so we're don't want to.
How we doing on that brake line?
I think I need to disconnect this.
Well, now we see why they wanted us to support the lower control arm.
I think that might have said disconnect the whole brake sensor, which I didn't do. But I'm stuck in the frame right up here. Okay, so do that first.
Yes.
Unplug that.
Okay. Can I let this go?
Yeah, you can let that go.
How much strain is going to be on that
Well,
brake?
it's sitting on the lower.
But I mean, if it would flop towards you, the brake line, it's not going.
No, it's not
holding.
going anywhere.
It's holding on the
tie rod end's holding
Okay,
it.
cool.
So we're like,
Awesome.
we're clear to be able to change this control arm.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that this was going to be have Danner do my lift kit. I thought we were going to be doing this together, but these camera shots like involve me.
I could quit at any time.
Well, I told you can run the camera and I'll do the work. Now people,
Well, you're gonna have to, man. You got to get on film.
now people really.
Your own video.
Well, when you guys were doing that side, you could do a couple of the steps.
The right way. You can do it the right way.
What's the right way?
And jog it.
Unplug that thing
Oh yeah,
first.
we could do that.
You could do that.
Except Danner sucks with the camera. We all know that.
So you'll know.
His camera skills are not as refined.
Everybody complains about him.
He looks like he's having fun. I don't want to stop him.
No.
That's all good.
Where's the beer? That's all I want to know.
You said you were gonna bring one. You never
I
answered.
didn't bring. You didn't answer me. I was gonna bring. All right, we're not worried about marking our cams for our upper control arm because everything's gonna be wrong,
Well,
right?
if you want to really look and be particular, there's a graph in here, and you're about dead center.
Is that we're gonna re-put
See
it?
that graph?
Nope.
See the pin?
There you go. That's better.
See the pin right about where my thumb is?
Yep.
So that's dead center. So we can set it up. It even says it in that booklet. Set it up dead center, but this is not your final
Okay, gotcha.
adjustment. So we could just be dead center of that slot, and then we'll be back pretty much where you were. If you ever
Okay.
want to align this truck from the factory
Yeah.
and actually do camber or caster, you got to break this plastic out of it.
Are we doing that?
Yeah,
We have to.
You're going to be. This is like from the assembly line. They build them to such a tolerance they know they can make and put this shim plug in here.
So if we're doing,
and this is where your
if you
camera
were
goes.
aligning this, would
You
you
gotta
take the
get this
would
out.
you take the bolt out like we just did, or would you break it off?
No, you can loosen it and you can probably just pry all that
Okay.
stuff out of there, or you know, if
Yeah.
it's like rusty, just heat it up and
Yeah.
melt it and make
And that's
it turn.
camber and caster, correct? For that.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're gonna get, you know, both equally is gonna be camber, and then back and forth is gonna be
Yep.
caster. So if you're ever trying to turn one of these, you wonder why it won't turn.
Yeah. Well, I got lucky when I raised my torsion bars to begin with because all I had to do was set my toe. My caster was right borderline, and my camber was perfect. So it was kind of cool. I'm nervous about cutting that piece of the frame. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I should say I'm nervous about watching you cut that piece of the frame.
See, I don't care. It's not mine. I'll cut it.
Sweet.
So,
Was there play in that
Good.
ball joint?
decent used control arm for sale.
Yeah. There's play in that ball joint,
Oh,
though,
is there?
isn't there? I mean, because I'd get a clunk from that thing.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't check. Yeah, there's
To the point where if I would grease the upper ball joints, my clunk would go away.
Really?
When I would accelerate, a light acceleration, I'd feel a thump.
I can feel it.
And when I'd grease the upper ball joints, it
no
wouldn't
ball
be there.
joint should move like that. I mean, how you get new ones? You got to get a wrench on there
Yeah.
sometimes to pry them. So
Yeah.
I mean, it.
You know what's crazy is that
scrap pow.
that clunk has been there for like over 20,000 miles too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's because you cranked up your torsion bar.
No, it was there before I did that. Maybe not.
All right. So
What are we doing now? Do you want to do the other side the same way?
yeah, we're gonna take it apart because if we have to drop the differential,
Well,
like
that's
they're
the
saying,
instructions say to drop the diff. So
we're gonna go over there now. Let me move some of these hoses. I gotta.
okay.
I'm gonna film.
doing,
I'm
man?
filming for you.
Yeah, that's not gonna make it. What you did was mess me up. Go away. Go wash your hands.
All right.
That would be. Maybe we'll leave that. That last segment. That was how my brother films. What's up? Where's the socket for
That's
the
the
control arm?
yeah. That has a. You need my pocket screwdriver to knock out pin loose because it's a safety impact swivel. Did you ever get whipped by a wrong swivel?
No.
I did that once.
What size is the axle nuts?
They're 15.
Got it.
And is my screwdriver over there? My little orange pocket screwdriver.
I didn't see it. Oh yeah. Hey, I'm gonna have my own pocket screwdriver soon with my
Alright.
logo on it.
Sweet. I better get a free one.
I'll give you one. Some t-shirts, some hats.
Nice.
You gotta wear one in one of your videos.
Okay.
Look, my hands are getting dirty. That's why I do diagnostic work, Uncle Steve. Although I gotta admit, I miss wrenching sometimes. It's kind of mindless, you know? You don't have to think too much. Okay, that was the right side axle, so we need to take all the lines off the control arm now.
You want one?
Did you take the whole piece out?
The lower one. The upper one I snapped off of that little bracket too.
That broke it. That sucks.
Nothing a couple zip ties won't fix.
Yeah. They broke it. Just the clip that holds this on.
Gotcha.
That sucks.
It happens.
I didn't break my side.
No, you didn't. Oh, I like this.
$99 came with a drill and 2 batteries.
Nice, man.
Ryobi. The Snap-on guy was trying to sell one for like $400, and
I know.
I'm like, man, I don't know if I use it that much, you know. And then I saw that, and I'm like, I gotta get one. No, I like 'em.
You know who else makes a good one? Is Milwaukee makes a good
Yeah.
one too. And they're not.
No, you can usually get them for about $50 more than a Ryobi thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the batteries are smaller. You know, it's actually a nicer unit, but
Where's that wrench at?
I couldn't pass that up for $99 with 2 batteries, a charger, and a drill.
Oh yeah. What is this, a 6-point wrench? Huh? Nope.
I hate those.
I mean, they're good for getting a bolt loose, but that's about it. Where's your ratchet wrench?
I don't have an 18 one. Nick might.
That's okay. I'm almost there.
I wish this thing wasn't broke, because I would love to put this in your video. It just doesn't want to come back to me for some reason.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so take the ball joint nut off first, then put it back on a couple of threads. I've gotten burned on that before. Where's your dead blow at? Other side? Alright, so one of the methods you can use is to use what do they call them, Danner? A pickle fork? Is that what they call them?
I have one.
That's okay. Where you go between the control arm and the spindle, and then you.
Yeah, and if you're replacing the ball joints, that's okay.
Right.
You know, but if you're like gonna reuse them,
That's right.
sometimes you'll cut the boot.
You'll damage the boot, and so really you're just striking it in the area where that stud comes through. It's a tapered stud, so right here is where we're hitting it, and hopefully my angle's bad for. It's one thing to film and.
Well, what you do is right here is you just pause it and then you show my expert hit on the other
To
side.
do that, yeah, right?
Nice. That was some precise swinging there, Mr. Danner.
Yes. So much weight on that. Yo.
Like that.
Yeah, that one.
See, I was holding mine when I did.
What's that?
I was kind of holding.
Yeah, but this one came down just like a lot more than the other side. Why? Is it because of our torsion bar? Do we have something different with that?
Oh, I do have the torsion bar wound up a little bit, remember? So we might have to loosen it to get it back up.
So that's putting downward force. And
Maybe that's why they wanted you to support it.
Well, if we had the key out, it wouldn't have mattered.
No,
do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
this
put it
one,
together.
do you want to?
How far down is it
I don't
going?
know. I was actually surprised by the tension on that, but
That ain't going nowhere.
I'm just worried about it. Okay, that's not being held on the brake line, but we're definitely going to have to loosen that keyway back there to get
that
this back up in here.
That makes sense. See, don't do it. Paul did.
Yeah. Well, you know, when I was taking that off, I'm like, man, there's a lot of tension on that, on those couple of threads, you know?
Yeah.
I'm actually lucky that we didn't tighten that anymore. I could have hurt myself a little bit. Okay. So we're not seeing that, but let me get that in the shot. So what we did wrong on this side, guys, is we had the keyway in on this side, if you remember, and we actually we put a couple threads up in it, and so we had a lot more tension on the lower control arm. That's essentially your spring, and I had forgotten about that. And you saw how fast that came down when I took that last thread off.
That's why they say support it.
Support the control arm, which we
Live
did,
and learn.
which
Live
we
and
didn't
learn.
do, but we're okay. And again, there's no tension on that brake line. It's not being held by the brake line. The rest of it's being held by the tie rod and the sway bar. All right, so let's take this off. Here, this is for the ear side. Put that back over there. That was a control arm, upper control arm, maybe? What was that for? Oh no, that's my ball joint nut. So that's mine. I'll take that back.
Looks like we take the differential out next.
Yeah. That would not have been fun by hand. You know?
Yes.
Whoops.
I just try to keep them on the side they were on. I don't think they matter, but
Okay.
because I noticed that I had a blue one in the back and a white one in the front. You can see that one's not quite as dead center as the other one.
So just keep it up here.
Was that a front one?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. I can't remember, but I just kept mine. It's not going to matter. We're changing it all.
Oh,
They're loose.
now what?
Now we're underneath. We got to take it up and start taking.
You don't have mechanic wire, do you?
Yeah.
I really would like to tie this one up. This one's
Well, let's take it up. We'll just crank that bolt down now.
okay.
That way there's not a lot of pressure on it.
Okay. All right, what are we doing now?
I'm just taking this cross member off between the two frame rails,
Okay.
because we're gonna have to bolt our new bracket to here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to drop the differential out and cut that scary section. So I figured I'd get this out of my way right now. Look at that.
What was that?
That was just the nut on. That's why you thought it looked bigger, because it's an 18 up top, but it's just a big kind of spacer.
Cool.
Oil leak.
Yeah, no, I just had my tranny lines changed. They were under warranty.
Oh yeah.
My cooler lines were
Oh,
leaking.
I see that. Yeah.
So actually, the oil cooler and tranny lines were both leaking. So that should be right around in that area too.
This sticker on that.
Yeah, but I mean, where all that oil was on that right side,
Yeah.
right above that is
Where the
oil cooler lines.
block, okay,
yeah. So it was like $800.
Nice.
I had a $100 deductible, which was cool.
All right, so that's out.
So we got to.
We're good. I'm gonna take the drive shaft U bolts off here.
Okay,
We're
yeah.
gonna have to get this out of the way.
Have we decided we are going to drop the
no.
diff? I mean, it is telling us to, but
Yeah. I think it'd probably be easier.
it would be easier to cut that bracket.
Because I gotta cut this anyway.
Yes.
You know, and then we're gonna have to put it all back together. So just get it out of the way.
All right, so U-bolts.
So I'm gonna take the U-bolts out, and then we have this one main bolt here. We got a harder one to get to up top, and then these two right here, and then take this electrical plug off for your actuator for your front axle,
Yep.
and then a tranny jack, and just pull that right out of the way.
Or the two of us. Could be the tranny jack.
Well, we have Uncle Steve here now.
Uncle Steve can be the cameraman. And watch us drop the axle on ourselves. Hey, real quick before I forget, Danner, we did not mark the flanges on the axle to the flange on the diff. Do you think that
I never.
we need
'cause if you
to?
bought a new axle,
Yeah.
what'd you do? You just bolt it up the way it bolted up.
Right.
So
Okay.
I don't allow myself to get plagued with.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you.
I mean, a lot of times it's nice because you think in hindsight, sometimes, oh, I wish I would have marked that.
Right.
But sometimes you're just zipping along. And one of those things, it's not like a split drive shaft where you're, you know, have your yokes not straight on either. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what made. Hold on a second. You just messed me up. That's what made me think about it. Is you're taking that front drive shaft off, and that's what I was made me think about it. Little things we maybe should have done.
So that's out of the way.
And let's put some electrical tape on the caps of that.
There's one of those bands here.
It's not coming off.
See it's got the
okay, cool.
The snap ring.
I can't see it from if you turn that light around. I could see it.
See the snap ring with the band on it.
Okay, cool. So that's not coming off.
That's not going to come apart.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get this electrical plug before we forget.
Yeah. I need to call my wife.
Yeah.
See that bolt up there?
I do.
That one there?
Yeah.
I'm making you do it.
Okay, that's fine.
And you don't need to film that.
Yeah, no. I'll leave the camera running. Maybe you can hear me swear a couple times.
Get that bolt out there.
Okay.
And then we're gonna take this one, loosen this one, and then we gotta loosen these, and then we'll get a tranny jack, and we'll just drop this whole thing out of the way.
All right. So my brother gave me the task of taking that upper mount bolt off. Working up too high.
Down some?
No, I think I can get this. If you hold this wrench for me, that would be helpful.
Nope.
Good.
Go ahead.
Sweet. Another one that would have sucked at home, Uncle Steve.
I need to get one of those.
Let me tap it through.
Yeah, maybe we'll. Yeah, go ahead. You can. It just seems to be under a bind.
I don't know. It's locking for it. Yeah, fuck this thing out. It's still out. Got it. That's just a regular plug.
I don't know if that's like. Sometimes they got them zip tied to something on the axle.
Attached to the axle too. Of course.
You should hear the engine we're putting in that thing. He's got this is a kid that works here, Nick. He's got a running engine stand over there in front of that Mercedes with a radiator and fans and fuel pump, and so we were running it on a stand. You know, it just sounds hot, man. Sounds like I think he's from the research he did probably like 4.
Dude, what's up with that tranny jack, man?
You filming this the whole time I've been doing it?
Yeah.
It's probably lowering as we speak.
Here, wait. I'm gonna drop this just a little bit.
I smacked it with the.
Yeah, you did. Okay. Okay.
I want to get it on the lock.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna hit.
Whoa. Let me come down a little bit. Okay. You on the lock?
Yeah.
All right.
So we gotta.
That lower bolt I still got to get out.
Yeah, we gotta take this one out. So there's a bolt over here.
Yes.
You could probably hit that with an impact. It feels like a 21.
The other ones were 21 too.
All right.
All right, taking this lower nut off for the mount bolt right here. We're taking off.
You're good. Just leave it in there though, because we're gonna That's gonna hold this while we get this. And you got to take these two off right here. I don't know if you can see that.
They look like 21s too. It looks like there's a
pattern.
Yeah, look at the it's elongated. Like you see the. Hold on. All right, so a little bit of a concern here before we take this off is these are slotted.
I wasn't that concerned.
Well, I'm just looking at where it lines up, and it's pretty much flush with the top part.
Yeah,
I mean,
see, we're putting a lowering block. I think once you bolt this in, where your
those would be the last ones.
Because think about it, if you change a bushing and you got it pressed in a little bit deeper,
Yeah.
there would have to be some allowance there to save those bushings. So I'm
Gotcha.
assuming you bolt these two up, get them snug, and then that where that lines up, you're going to keep your bushings unloaded.
I got you.
that way.
Yeah.
That would be my guess. Okay, you want to?
Yeah,
I
let
don't know how
me
much
move the
weight's there.
Let me move the camera. Hold on.
I think it's supported.
Which one?
This one right here. The other one. I got it supporting. This bolt's here. I just don't know if it's gonna. Okay, that was a waste of
What's
panic.
that bracket moving up top?
That seems to be rubber mounted.
Yeah.
But this is where you have that extender block to put in between here.
Okay, yeah.
And I think this is what we're pounding out and putting bigger bolts in. Wait, no, we're not. No, we're not. Okay, so there's the other bolt.
That goes.
So I'm gonna balance. Are we still attached somewhere?
I don't think. Oh yeah, there is another bolt.
Is there?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, I want to put this bolt back in. That'll just be our last bolt. I thought there was only one up there.
How you doing?
Good, how are you tonight?
Okay.
That's my Uncle Steve, Joe.
I think we met way
Yeah.
long
Wait,
time
long time
ago.
ago. That
Nice
again.
to see us.
No, that's not. We're free. There's just
Is
a
it
wait.
just pivoting on
There's
here?
a vent line. Let me take this vent line off.
Lower it down a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're just.
Maybe I'm just pivoting on my block.
I think we're pivoting up here too, like on that part.
Okay,
You ready?
I got the diff. Okay, hold on. Now we're hitting that bracket, so we got to come forward.
Toward me?
But maybe we should cut that thing first.
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to cut it if you wanted to do the work here. So we gotta
clear it. We need to clear that.
Okay, lower it down a little bit more. It's just gonna want to roll your way.
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah. I don't think we're even attached to it. No. It's like, let's just lower this down a little bit more because it's kind of caught in there. We're gonna have to like
Yeah.
roll it out. Just lower a little bit. Just support it.
Got it.
It looks like,
We're like jammed right there.
yeah, it looks like it's got to roll towards the front just a hair. But what's that pocket look like that it's in?
It's out.
It's out of that pocket?
Yeah.
If you would turn the steering wheel.
Yeah, we're hitting the. We're hitting
I
the
did see
pitman
that
arm.
on the.
We're hitting the pitman arm.
Oh, I saw that in the book.
Did
On
you?
the pamphlet. Turn the steering wheel to aid in removal.
Damn it. And my key is locked, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, can you hold it for a
Yeah, I
second?
got it.
I don't think I'm gonna turn this.
There you go.
It's falling.
How much further?
I don't know. I can't.
How's that brake line on the other side, Uncle Steve?
You're not stretching it too bad.
You're okay. You're okay.
Is that enough to get us out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes?
I don't know. I
mean,
can't
I
see it
think
from
so.
here.
I need to go up and then get that lower part. That lower part come down?
Yeah, it's actually got a. It's actually got a roll.
It can't. We need this out. Can we pry that down?
Well, we could cut it because we got to cut it anyway. I'm just curious if I wanted to take one of these out without.
I don't. You wouldn't be cutting it to change the diff,
Yeah.
so we should be able to take it out. Here, use the. Here. Like pry this piece.
Well, see, there's a.
But I can lift up on this
It's got.
part.
It would have to go that way, like 2.5 inches.
We got enough to come this way.
Do you?
Yeah.
We might have to take. We maybe have to take that thing off to do it the right way.
I don't understand why I can't see back there on why that's not coming out.
Well, it's sitting on an ear here. I'll move out of the way so you can see it. I don't know if it's gonna come forward that far.
Oh.
Just a second.
You know, like we're
Yes.
The only way it's gonna come forward is if you could take
That's got to
that
come
top
up.
bolt
That's got to come up and
twist
out.
it. Is the only way that that's gonna come out.
Oh, because you're already hitting the center link.
This has to come up and over that.
Did this actually go through that pocket? This wire, where it's sitting? Was this wire actually up in there like that?
I don't know. Sure, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was up in between there.
The
would
bushing
have-
probably doesn't.
it would have to be.
There's probably an air gap up there. I just didn't see it.
Yeah. No, we got to come up and over. Let me show that.
Put it over.
Hold on. See, we're hitting this piece. So like this diff isn't going to drop down without coming up this way and over. And I don't. Is this piece all get cut off?
Yeah.
Not this whole piece.
No, but you're cutting this off right here flush.
Yeah.
Which means this part's no longer attached until you bolt it back to the
Are you sure?
lower piece.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
I don't think so. You still need this piece because that's your.
Yeah, that's the plate, and
This part stays.
Yeah, but it gets rested on top of that thing there.
What?
They want this piece cut off. We'll read it again, but this piece can't be there because that metal thing has to slide up around
Yeah.
and capture this, and it can't. So they want this cut off flush here.
Well,
and
let's see if we can.
Yeah, I'm with
Let's
you.
see if we can lift this up.
Okay,
And
if
then
you
come
wanna do
around
that,
it.
My guess is you got to take this rubber-mounted aluminum
You
arm
think?
off. That way you could lift it.
Was that stopping us?
Yeah, because when you lift it, it goes back up into the bolt holes. So if we can get it to come up and slide over, that probably would allow you to take that out. It's like, you're like pinched into your steering.
You need to drop that back down and we need to twist it before you go back up.
There you go. Now I'll try and turn your wheel over.
That doesn't work. Are you free of it?
Yeah. I think I tried
Okay,
to
over
work.
here. That it? It's back in the bad spot, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's worse that way?
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back the other way. Wait. My fingers there. Pull back.
Sorry.
Stay back. All right.
You guys do.
That's it.
What's that?
Pinch yourself.
Yeah. Like, wait. I don't want to start crying on film.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Struggling with the diff here. For sure.
The worst part about it is we have to cut it, but no one wants to make the call. Just cut it.
We don't want to cut it before. I mean, you shouldn't have to cut it to take a differential out like we were talking about. I mean, if you were doing a diff on one of these.
When we pull it up on Mitchell, it probably
Sure.
says remove the steering center link.
Well, I know if that center link was gone, we would have it out. It would be out already. Whoa.
Yeah, but how high can you really get it?
I don't know. Not very much higher than that. Can you lift your side up and over now? No.
I'm still about an inch away. I'd have to come forward an inch.
And that's the steering link's in the way.
Well, we gotta cut this piece anyway. Can I just cut it?
I guess. I just
You wanna know?
I want to make sure. All right, so hold on. Let's make sure we're clear on camera what we're doing and why. I believe that
What year's your truck?
2009. I believe to take this front differential out, if you were doing this as a factory replacement, that you would want to take the rest of the steering linkage off, because that's what's stopping us from pulling this out and getting the right angles. But given that lower bracket that we're supposed to cut, we may end up cutting it now so we can save a step. I'm not sure yet. We're gonna find out here in a minute.